Hey everyone, Duel Master Jade here with a long-awaited duel. I don't know. I just haven't posted a duel in a while. So this one is another ladder match against Ninja Pikmin. He's using his 33 fire against my 37 ice. He is number 2 in the ladder right now, so this is a key match because I am number 1. And so if I lose, then I become number 2 and he becomes number 1. Anyway, so I go second to him. It's just like, well, great. That's a good way to start off thing. Go off second to a very good, strong fire wizard. That usually doesn't end well, if many of you know how fire just kicks some total butt in the arena. And so I go here. I casted Blaze on the first turn. I was like, well, in case he minions, I want to be able to blizzard him away in one shot, assuming he doesn't shield him. So that's why I put up the Blades. I was like, I have a white pip anyways. And so that was just in case, because I don't want his minions out. Put a weakness on him because I figured it causes them to waste a turn. I wasn't really concerned about damage yet because I didn't have any, or he didn't have any buffs. And then he pulls out an immolate, which I didn't quite understand why. I mean, I knew he had weakness, so it'd do less damage to him, but he did pretty much half the damage done to me he did to himself, which I don't think was very beneficial. I mean, it was kind of a waste of pips in my opinion. He'd been better off using like a link, because then he could have gotten rid of that effect infection. Or did I send the infection the same turn? I don't know. Never mind that. So I look at his pips, see 3 white pips. I'm like, cool. I don't think he's packing Sunbird, so I'm gonna shield my minion and keep him up. Because from second, establishing your minion can be very key into having a chance at winning a duel. So the next step, I was like, alright, now change the bubble. Because don't need him doing any more damage than he can already. He fizzled, which is even luckier, because I'm guessing he was going to use a meteor, which would have hurt a lot more if he had his bubble up. So that's cool. My minion breaks an ice shield, so now Ninja's down to 1 ice shield. Got my minion up. I decided to use a sprite here because, well, figured I'd want to get my HP back, because going second, you can never you can never have too much HP. It's always good to play it safe. He puts up his bubble. It's like, well, darn it, just change that. And I think blue is such a nicer color than red. And so, yeah, pull up my treasure bubble, because I'm like, I don't want him to win this bubble war. If he wins the bubble war, then I can be in a lot of trouble. Yeah. So I'm sitting here, I'm just like, why hasn't he summoned a minion yet? Like, does he just not have him in his hand? I mean, it's been quite a few turns, and he doesn't have a minion up, and I've been saving these pips and saving these blades and keep my buffs up just so I can tackle his minion as soon as it comes out, because I cannot afford to let his minion stay in the duel. So, and I expected right there, I was thinking, well, my minion's gonna shark, so maybe if you use frostbite, get rid of the ice shield, and then my minion can hit with the bladed shark. But then I was like, you know what, he's probably gonna meteor away my minion, since my minion's at half health and is unshielded. I was like, okay, he's gonna meteor my minion, so I didn't do that. And then I was totally surprised how he would change the bubble instead of using meteor. Like, I don't know. I was like, okay, cool, my minion gets another free hit in, and he loses a shield. Anyways, so I think I have all these blizzards because I was pulling for a treasure Balefrost. And yeah, so it's like, I don't really want to waste any of these blizzards because I need him to kill his minions if he ever summons them. Yeah. So my minion's down. It's like, alright, well that sucks. I put a weakness on him. It's like, haha, and I'm a jerk. My fear against him was he was going to use Tech Hound. Because in our previous duel, he used Tech Hound against me. I was like, well, I'm second. So that's why I'm going to use the weaknesses on you, buddy. Throw up another infection because he already has 1 on him. So it's like, alright, well, might as well get 2. You know, just to be rude and be a jerk. He finally summons a minion. And I was like, cool, now I can blizzard it. And he stuns me. It's just, well, gosh darn it. And then minion, what do you know, puts smoke mantle on me. It's like, cool, so I'm not going to be stunned next turn, but now I got an accuracy reduction on me. It's like, well, that's just great. So I'm like, alright, blizzard, second attempt. Or blizzard, take 2. Minion is an elf against me. It's like, well, I didn't really shield myself much. I only shield myself once so far. No big deal. And I fizzle my blizzard. I'm like, alright, well, here we go. Blizzard, take 3. And all this time I'm thinking, Why has he not shielded his minion? He's from first. He needs to establish that. Well, he doesn't need to, but it sure helps keeping that minion alive. Puts a weakness on me. Luckily, I have a blade in the bubble. Get the smoke mantle again. I was able to hit my blizzard. I'm like, oh, thank goodness. And because it was a monstrous blizzard and I had a bubble and a blade, the weakness did not do enough to save his minion. So I was like, alright, sweet. So I got a lot of white pips, and I don't have an infection on me, but I'd like to use some HP because he has some decent pips. And so I was like, alright, I'll pick seeds. Better to get rid of it now than to wait till I get 3 or 4 of them stacked up on me, which I have done before, and then try to heal out of it. It does not work, let me tell you. Okay, so I decide I'm going to try to summon my ice minion again. He has a weakness on him, so unless it's a boosted blizzard or he gets a bubble up or something, he ain't killing him. He summons his minion. It's like, fine. It's like, you know, I'll kill him. It's the whole plan here. To kill his minions and win this bubble war. That was my strategy. Don't let him win the bubble war and just knock out his minions as soon as I can. What do? I'm winning the bubble war so far, and I knock out his minion again, so it's just like, haha! Of course, I can't shield my minion now because there's a link going around, so it's like, well, that stinks. And so my minion fills with blade because of the smoke mantle from the other minion, but luckily, now he's going to blade me. He's going to try to blade me. He has 3 white pips. I'm like, okay, well, he's not going to meteor or immolate my minion, so he's safe for now. So I decided to stun him just to get an extra turn to run the link out. I thought the link was going to end this turn, and so I was like, okay, well, I can just shield him the next turn, and, well, that didn't work out. Oh well, right? Not too bad. He's stunned, doesn't have a shield. I put another infection on him, because I can't let him heal up, otherwise this will be a really long duel. Minion gets to hit with, I think that's a bubble, or a treasure bubble, so he gets to hit with the 45% ice shard, which is sweet. I try now to go shield my minion, and he shielded himself. I figured he'd meteor once again. And even at that, if he didn't meteor, I was thinking a bubble change, because I've had him up for quite a few turns. But instead, he shields, and I get another weakness, and it's just like, alright, throw that out there. I mean, I had 2 bubbles in hand, so it's not like I was going to cast one of those. Finally used a meteor after my minion has a shield. I don't know if he just didn't like make many treasure ones or what, but I was very surprised on how little he meteored. And so he has 1 ice shield, and I figured, you know what, why not? I'll try a frostbite. It's a monstrous frostbite. I have a blade in the bubble. So I figured, let's see how this goes. And minion actually gets, oh, that's why I did frostbite. It's because minion was gonna shark, and I want to get that shield out of the way. I didn't really care if he was going to blizzard or meteor that time. I was like, you know what, I'm just going to go for it, because either way, the dot's going to do pretty decent damage. Kills my minion. He gets rid of his infection with that link. It's like, alright, well, that's lame. I get rid of his infection and put on me with the sprite. I was thinking right there, instead of the sprite, I should have blizzard. I don't know why. Oh, no, I do know why, because I didn't think the dot was going to do enough, and I didn't take into consideration the dot when I was calculating the blizzard's damage. But if I used a monstrous blizzard, I would have killed him that previous turn instead of that sprite. And I didn't, so that stinks. And he ends up healing to full health. It's just like, he's at full health. I have little health. But I did know he was going to satire there. I had a very strong feeling he was going to satire. Like, I was 99% sure. So I knew I can summon this minion and get him out for free with him having no pips. So I was like, okay, that's sick. I approve. Use another sprite on myself just to kind of go back up. Get myself back to a comfortable position. Right now I'm feeling really good because he is 2 white pips. I have my minion, I have the bubble, and I have 6 pips. And so I'm not too concerned about what he can do to me now. I'm feeling actually a lot relieved. Minion, put 2 blade on himself. How selfish is that? I was like, come on. In Autumn Sky, that is. Thought the same thing. He puts a minion, or he puts a blade on me, and so I decided, well, I'm gonna use elemental blades on myself. Two blades and a Balefrost. Where can I go wrong, right? That's talking good damage. Now he does have a shield, So I'm not gonna be using blah, 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 Wyvern on him. So, but I wasn't sure if I had another Monstrous Frostbite in my side deck. Didn't remember how many I threw in there. I only put in 2, and I thought I put in 3, so I was digging away for nothing. But luckily, I pulled a regular one. It's just like I was just praying he didn't. I was praying he didn't change the bubble. So I used my Frostbite. It's only a regular one, but I got 2 blades in a bubble. So that's sick. Minion fizzled again. It's like, are you kidding me? You have blades in a bubble. Can you please hit? And right now, I was pulling for my Wyvern. If I didn't get the Wyvern, I was going to Blizzard. This Frostbite does 273 damage. I was like, wow, that's kind of hefty. It used a Pixie. I didn't have any blades, but I did have my bubble up. So I was, okay. He pretty much just healed off whatever that Wyvern was going to do. Then my minion hits with the boosted Shark, and it leaves Alex, or Ninja, with 271 damage, and what do you know? My Frostbite does 272, and I end up killing Ninja Pikmin. Great duel, Ninja. I was sweating.